Hello everyone, so today we're going to be creating a formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Now, I think you have a couple questions. One, what is volume? Volume simply refers to the amount of space inside of a 3D object, like this Jenga block, for example. And your next question probably is, what's a formula? We've done formulas before, but I think since spring break, we probably have a bit of a foggier memory. Remember, a formula, that's simply an equation that we use to solve a problem. For example, I have the formula for area right here. The formula for area is length times width. Knowing this formula, I can plug it in to any problem where I'm trying to find the area. I'm trying to find the area of a rectangle right here. My length is 6 inches and my width is 10 inches. And I know that I simply have to multiply the two to find the area. So I do 6 times 10, and that gives me 60 inches. I now know that this rectangle has an area of 60 inches. And I found that using my formula for area of a rectangle. And we're going to do the same thing today. We're going to figure out a formula for the volume of a rectangular prism. Now, normally when I teach this, I would usually use some cubes. Unfortunately, I'm not at school and I don't have access to the cubes, so we're going to go ahead and use these Jenga blocks instead. This Jenga block is going to be my unit of measurement. Right now, I'm simply holding one Jenga block. That means the area of this shape right here is simply one Jenga block. If I were to add another one onto it, it would have an area of 2 Jenga blocks. And I can keep going. Now it has an area of 3 Jenga blocks. I have a one row right now of 3 Jenga blocks. And right now, that is the volume of my entire shape, 3 Jenga blocks. Let's say I add on another row. How many do I have now? 6 Jenga blocks. Now I already have a pre-built shape right here, and I want to find the volume of it. And to find the volume of the shape, I could simply count the amount of Jenga blocks I have. I could do the same thing with these little cubes, but again, I don't have enough to really show this problem, so we're going to be using the Jenga blocks. So let's see. I realize I have a row of 3 right here, so I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So what's the volume of my Jenga tower right now? My volume right now is 15 Jenga blocks, and I'm going to use JB to go ahead and represent that measurement. I'm sorry, to represent that unit of measurement. So if I have something on a sheet of paper or I have a really big figure, I can't just count every individual block there. I need to go ahead and create a formula. Now I think you all noticed when I was going through here, I looked at this row of 3, and instead of counting each individual block, I was like, oh, you know what? I know I have a row of 3, so I did 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. What's a shortcut? What's a formula I can use to figure that out? Instead of counting each individual block, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's tiring. Let's go ahead and try to figure out a formula. Now, when I do this, I realized, hey, I have this row right here. This row kind of reminds me of the width of a square. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down a W for width. Now I need to figure out, if I have this row of 3, what could I multiply that by? What could I multiply that by to get the rest of my Jenga blocks? So I had 3 right here, but I realized this is a 3D shape. So I'm not just going to count this side. I want to count this side as well. So I have 3 over here, and if I turn this around, I only have 1 Jenga block right here. That 1 Jenga block is going to represent my length. So far I have width times length, and then there's one more factor I need to include in this little tower structure. Pause the video. What other factors should I include? I have my width, I have my length. What am I going to include next to figure out the volume of the entire Jenga block structure? I need to include how I count it up. When I count it up, this represents the height. When I want to find volume, I'm doing the width times the length times the height. That means I'm counting up the blocks that make the width, I'm counting up the blocks that make the length, and I'm counting up the blocks that make the height. Now I can go ahead and plug this formula in. So when I look at the width, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 blocks that make up the width. When I look at the length, let me turn this a bit more slowly. When I look at the length, I have 1 block that makes up the length. And when I look at the height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 1 block that makes up the height. And so I have 3 times 1, which is 3. And then I have 3 times 5, which is 15. And look, I got the exact same answer, 15 Jenga blocks. So today, I want you to practice finding the volume of different rectangular prisms.